Miguel O'Hara is Earth 928 Spider-Man from the year 2099. He's got razor-sharp talons on the end of his fingers and toes, venomous spider fangs, super strength, and bro is an absolutely jacked unit. Between the end of the first and the second Spider-Verse movies, Miguel went on the most savage bulk of all time, going from Spider-Boy 2099 to Sigma Man 2099. In this video, we'll be breaking down what Miguel would have needed to do to build this insanely stacked body, and I'll be giving you everything you need to get built just like him, including a full, free 4-day-a-week Spider-Man 2099 workout program. To understand Spider-Man 2099's body transformation, we first need to understand the man under the mask. To keep this video spoiler-free for the new Spider-Verse movie, we're going to be going over Miguel's backstory from his original comic. It's similar enough for the purposes of this video. Miguel is a genius geneticist, living in New York in the year 2099. He is from an alternate timeline, where most classic Marvel heroes have been wiped out. Please tell me that Captain Marvel wasn't one of the ones who survived. Miguel worked as a geneticist for the mega corporation called Alchemex. And as we all know, real-life mega corporations are super cool and never do any up to increase their profits. Please don't hurt me, Daddy Bezos. However, as he spent more time at Alchemex, he grew disillusioned and disturbed by the corporation's unethical practices and disregard for human life. For example, Alchemex was the creator and sole source of an insanely addictive drug called Rapture. Once you took it, that was it. You were hooked for good, and if you tried to quit, the withdrawal symptoms were so bad that they would kill you. So after Alchemex got everyone in the Spider-Man 2099 universe hooked on Rapture, they made it insanely expensive to boost their bottom line and control the general population, which is super up. I'm glad that corporations in real life have some morals and would never do such a terrible, terrible thing. Oh wait, do you guys hear that? Oh God. Oh, Jesus Christ. Well, at least they're not just doing it for the money, right? Oh, Jesus Christ. Anyways, back to the comic books. The project that caused Miguel to finally leave Alchemex was his assignment to create a new generation of super soldiers, specifically attempting to recreate the powers of the original Spider-Man. As a part of this project, he was directed to perform tests on living human subjects, which often led to their death or serious injury. Miguel was over it. However, when he tried to quit his job, his boss, Tyler Stone, spiked his drink with the drug Rapture in an attempt to get him hooked on it, so that continuing to work at Alchemex was the only way to get his fix. But in an attempt to free himself from the addiction, Miguel used an experimental procedure to overwrite his DNA. But this is what actually resulted in his transformation into Spider-Man 2099, when the process was sabotaged, splicing his genetic code with that of a spider, turning him into Spider-Man 2099. If you guys are liking the video and want me to do one on Miles Morales, leave a like, subscribe, and comment Miles down below. Now, Spider-Man 2099 is similar to the OG Spider-Man in a lot of ways, but he does have his own unique set of powers. Miguel has superhuman strength, being able to lift up to 10 tons under ideal conditions. He also has superhuman speed, stamina, reflexes, agility, and enhanced durability. He can jump up to 30 feet. He has giant fangs in his mouth, which can secrete paralyzing venom. His fingers and toes have retractable talons used for climbing walls and opening letters. And just like everybody's favorite Spider-Man Tobey Maguire, he can shoot out disgusting organic webs. Now, you might be saying, why would Miguel even need to work out? The guy has superpowers. Well, it's because of the nature of Miguel's powers. He is simply just a man genetically mixed with a spider. And since he gets all of his powers from being a man mixed with a spider, he would theoretically respond and adapt to physical training in the same way that any man or spider would. Now, I'm pretty familiar with the scientific literature on how human beings respond to resistance training and other athletic training, but in all honesty, I surprisingly wasn't able to find any double-blind, placebo-controlled, peer-review clinical trials on the effects of weighted resistance training on spiders. So I'm just going to go ahead and assume that if we taught a spider how to use a Bowflex, or if you want an even more terrifying image, 6 shake weights at the same time, then it would inevitably become insanely jacked and eat all of us. But do you know what's even more terrifying than a shake weight enhanced spider? Not living up to your potential. A common complaint I get from a lot of my personal training clients and viewers of this channel is that they want to be working out more consistently, but they find that at the end of the day, they don't have the willpower or the energy required to actually get to the gym, let alone have a good workout. And I hear a similar complaint about people not being able to stop procrastinating on their goals. And that's why I've partnered with LifeStacks. an amazing product that'll give you that extra boost of energy and willpower that you need to finally stop procrastinating and get started getting into shape, starting that business you've been thinking about, or increasing your earnings by being more productive at work. LifeStack's MCT is an energizing, delicious coffee creamer packed full of the exact kind of nootropics and adaptogens that'll give you the smooth and sustained energy to crush your day and your goals. Simply add a scoop of LifeStacks to your coffee, mix thoroughly by hand or with a frother, as LifeStacks boost your willpower and energy levels so that you can stop procrastinating and get to work on your dreams. Using LifeStacks has been huge in increasing my productivity and my income. Just the other day I took it and I crushed out 9 hours of personal training, 90 minutes of video scripting, and an hour-long workout, all in one day with absolutely no problems or lack of energy. So now to get the energy and focus you need to start chasing your dreams, click the link in the description of this video or in the pinned comment. Right now they're running a deal where you can get 20 to 25% off your first order, but you gotta go fast because this deal will not last forever. Thanks to LifeStacks for sponsoring my channel, and now back to the video. Now to figure out what the Spider-Verse version of Miguel did between the two movies to drastically bulk up, let's compare his physique from the end of the first film to the second film. You can see that Miguel's frame from film to film is relatively similar. In both appearances, Miguel has very wide shoulders and a very small waist, but it looks like Miguel packed on a huge 30 to 40 pounds of mass between the two films. His delts, traps, lats, forearms, and biceps have all blown the hell up, but not every muscle saw the same kind of explosive growth. In the second film, Miguel's chest, triceps, glutes, and legs overall are much more understated than the muscle groups I mentioned earlier. This is actually pretty realistic when you think about how Spider-Man fights and how he moves. Spider-Man's main tool/weapon of choice is his webs, which he uses to grab onto things and throw them around and swing from place to place. His webs are essentially really strong and sticky ropes. And let me ask you what ropes are used for? Okay, tying things up was a pretty good guess, but no, I'm talking about pulling. Ropes are for pulling things. And why is rope for pulling? Well, as those of you with performance anxiety might understand, pushing a rope doesn't really work all that well. So every time Miguel is using his webs to pull something towards him, pull himself towards something, or swing from building to building, he's pulling. And what muscles are used for pulling? Well, it just so happens to be the muscles that are the most pronounced on the Miguel that we see from the second movie. His traps, lats, forearms, biceps, and delts. But the web usage alone wouldn't be enough to develop Miguel's physique to this point, because to build a substantial amount of muscle, you need to frequently push your muscles near failure. And because Spider-Man 2099 is so insanely strong, it wouldn't be every day that his muscles are pushed that hard. So how did he build all that muscle? Enter the Spider Gym. Taking out of context, that is a terrifying visual. In Across the Spider-Verse, all the Spider people have a strength and conditioning room where they can train between their interdimensional outings. Now this is a super cool idea, and as a substantial comic book and fitness nerd, I love seeing these two things come together on the silver screen. Now of course, since Miguel can lift up to 10 tons, using regular gym equipment isn't really going to cut it. But I have an ingenious idea for a gym machine that would be able to create the amount of resistance Miguel would need to actually develop his physique. And that's by using classic resistance training equipment powered by hydraulic presses. Hydraulic presses are not only good for getting millions of views on TikTok, they're also insanely strong. They're capable of exerting up to 25 tons of pressure, which is more than 250% of what Spider-Man 2099 can lift at his best, giving him lots of room for improvement. Seeing as Miguel has access to advanced technology from the year 2099, and the combined intelligence of every spider person in the multiverse, I doubt it would be very hard for him to create all kinds of hydraulic-powered gym equipment, so that he could pull off such advanced moves as this, and maybe if he's feeling spicy, even this. To build the body that Miguel has in the second Spider-Verse movie, he would have needed to do a lot of pulling movements like lat pull-downs, rows, and deadlifts to build his back and biceps, combined with a solid amount of shoulder presses, lateral raises, and heavy farmer's carries or shrugs to build his crazy big shoulders and traps. But that's just an overview of what his training had to look like. If you want to see exactly what type of training program would build Miguel this type of body, I've created a full one for free that you can actually follow yourself, and it will be at the end of the video. Now of course, lifting alone isn't going to give you 30 to 40 pounds of mass. Miguel also needed to give his body enough resources to fuel his muscle building. Much like his weight training, his diet would simply be a scaled up version of what a normal human would do to gain weight. Because his muscles produce so much more power than a regular human's, they would require a lot more energy to maintain and grow. Not only this, but Miguel would would also need a ton of extra calories to power his super fast healing factor and crazy commute to work. So while normal humans need to eat around 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight and about 250 to 500 more calories than they burn each day to build muscle, it would make sense if Miguel needed to eat around 3 to 4 grams of protein per pound of body weight to provide his body with the building blocks to heal at an accelerated rate, because you can't heal if there's nothing to actually heal with. He would probably also have to eat 4 or more times as many calories as a normal human of his size in order to fuel his insane strength and performance. So he might need to eat upwards of 10,000 calories a day just to maintain his weight, let alone gain weight. Now, I could talk all day about my performance science theories about a fictional spider guy, but I'll leave things here by giving you guys that free 4-day-a-week Spider-Man 2099 muscle building program. You can download the program for free via the link in the description of this video. But keep in mind that this program is pretty advanced, so if you're newer to working out, you might want to check out my 17-week at-home bodyweight superhero training program first, and then move on to the more advanced program. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe, and now go check out my video on how the Red Hood would train in real life, and I'll see you there.